Hi, it's Representative Rick Larsen here, and this is the weekly recap with Rick. It's 2024. We've turned a corner on the new year, but there's still plenty of work to be done in Congress. This week, the Transportation and Infrastructure Committee held a Members' Day hearing to hear from members around the country about some of their concerns and issues with the Water Resources Development Act. This is a bill that will help improve the efficiency of our ports and our harbors, as well as importantly, help us deal with coastal resiliency, coastal erosion, environmental restoration in important areas like the estuaries that feed the Puget Sound region. Congress has to pass the Water Resources Development Act in order to sustain the momentum in fighting climate change and restoring our local environment. So please watch that space. Also this week, Congress is considering passing a bill to keep the government running. Watch this space next week for the results of that. I hope we'll be able to get that done. I do think we'll get it done, but then we have to get to work on final spending bills for the rest of the fiscal year. My priorities include protecting our state's environment, creating jobs, supporting our schools, especially those impact aid schools, supporting our veterans, and fighting the fentanyl scourge in our neighborhoods. More good news, though, as well from the Bipartisan Infrastructure Law. That bill that we passed over 2 years ago continues to do its work throughout the country and in our district. And the city of Mount Vernon received a $12.5 million grant to put 78 electric chargers, vehicle chargers, at their new Library Commons project. I want to congratulate the city of Mount Vernon, former Mayor Jill Boudreau, who led the effort on this, as well as new Mayor Peter Donovan as they implement the Library Commons project, a very important project right there in downtown Mount Vernon. See it from the freeway, stop by, take a look when it's completed. We'll be there in the future for the ribbon cutting for this major important redevelopment in downtown Mount Vernon. Also, funding from the Environmental Protection Agency for the Everett School District and the South Whidbey School District to introduce their first electric school buses to those school districts. Important because we're taking diesel buses off the road, diesel buses that contribute CO2 to the environment, contribute to air pollution. These kids now will be able to ride the school bus in clean air instead of in dirty air. So real exciting. To date, the BIL has invested nearly $8 billion in infrastructure funding for our state over the next several years, including funding for over 490 specific projects. So the BIL is at work in our state. I'll also be home this weekend celebrating a new library, an old library opening in Edmonds, as well, of course, this weekend. There'll be a variety of Martin Luther King Jr. Day events. I'll be attending many of those around the district, and hope to see you there as we remember the legacy of Dr. King and his legacy of service, and ensuring that we recognize his legacy by acting on behalf of our local communities. So with that, that's this week's weekly recap with Rick. And we'll let you know next week. Watch this space, as I said, as we continue to work towards keeping the government open, but more importantly, as well as funding the government through the rest of the fiscal year. Thanks.